Ja Morant won Rookie of the Year and has gone viral many times in his young career. Sorry for the reminder, Aaron Baines. But Ja is more than a human highlight reel. Today I want to get into how he's a winning player who sets the tone for the Grizzlies. There's a 3-play sequence in the final minute of a Grizzlies win over the Suns that really shows this to be true. Let's set the stage. Game's tied, just over 1 minute left, and when he gets a touch, there's only 7 seconds left of the shot clock. So Ja needs to make a play. So he splits the pick and roll, then knives through the paint, and while off balance, he fires a dart to Grayson Allen for 3. The second play comes after the Suns score. With 9 seconds left on the clock, Morant turbos by DeAndre Ayton to get to the left foot, left hand finish. That's a Steve Nash layup there. But the play is not done. Morant hustles back, keeps in front of CP3, and takes the charge. That's game over, folks. Morant is a special shot creator, but he's more than that. He makes winning plays. Not all players have that quality. Just look at Trae Young, who's already having chemistry issues with Atlanta, and he doesn't impact the game on defense. The player drafted ahead of Ja, Zion Williamson with the Pelicans, is allergic to defense, or he's too lethargic to play as hard as he did at Duke. But what makes Morant's situation different is also the supporting cast. The first player drafted behind Ja, RJ Barrett, was in a rough developmental situation as a rookie with the Knicks, with a bunch of crappy teammates surrounding him. Morant is in a perfect situation with a bunch of teammates who are talented and young. It's really unusual for youthful teams to fit so perfectly. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a knockdown shooter, and he's a raw but potentially super versatile defender who didn't even start this season because of surgery on his meniscus. The good fit around Ja extends to guys like Brandon Clarke, Tyus Jones, and Xavier Tillman. Morant has the talent to someday lead a contender, but all of these guys also have the talent to support a star and bolster that contender's odds of actually winning it all. Ja is different, and so are the Grizzlies as a whole. Today in The Void, let's break down those other young guys in Memphis, their skills and their futures playing alongside a blossoming star in Ja Morant. Brandon Clarke was selected 19 picks after Morant and also made an all-rookie team. When you have a downhill pick-and-roll threat like Ja, you gotta have a guy who can screen and finish at the rim. That's Clarke. Last season, Clarke finished in the 96th percentile as a pick-and-roll screener, hitting 76% of his shots. He can throw down dunks or put the ball on the floor and finish with finesse. Clarke's trademark shot, though, is his floater. Last season, he hit nearly 60% of his 79 floater attempts. At 6'8", the only players in the NBA his height or taller to try more floaters were TJ Warren, Nikola Jokic, and Jason Tatum. It's weird for a big to take that shot, but Clarke has good feel on those attempts, but he can also create for others with driving kicks to shooters. The problem this season? Clarke's jumper is broken. He's had issues with his shooting mechanics since he was a teenager playing at San Jose State, and he worked really hard to get rid of a bad hitch that he had on his jumper. As a rookie, he shot 40% from 3 before the hiatus, but then he came back to the bubble with bad new habits that are still there right now during the 2020-21 NBA season. Just look at the difference here with this video. The left is from this season, the right is from October 2019, the beginning of his rookie year. Notice the positioning of his elbow, just as his feet are leaving the ground here. Before, he had a squared shot with a nice 90-degree angle with his elbow. Now his right arm is crunched up and the ball is in front of his face. Clarke has shown this season that he can succeed without a reliable jump shot for all the reasons we talked about with his rim running and also his defense. He's so good positionally on the defensive end of the floor. However, for him to maximize what he can be alongside Ja Morant, he's got to become somebody who can reliably hit his jump shots. Much of the same applies to Xavier Tillman. Tillman has an iffy jump shot, but other than that, he checks all the boxes. Here's what Ja Morant said about him.
He's playing, big time for us. He's guarding, multiple positions, knocking down the 3, playing in the mid-range, rebounding. He's doing a lot for us on the floor. And, that's just a lot of credit to his work.
Tillman is only a 22-year-old rookie, but Mr. Tillman is a grown man, a husband, and a father of two who lives in the suburbs of Memphis, and he plays like it too. He's an instant decision maker who makes smart passes, and he's skilled scoring around the rim. As a screener, Tillman has a bunch of savvy veteran tricks. Look at this one here. Dwight Howard gets in the way of him screening for Kyle Anderson, so Tillman just nudges Howard a bit into Tobias Harris to make room for Anderson. It's probably the nerdiest basketball play I'll ever show here on The Void, but plays like this are precisely why Tillman was featured in a story on Yahoo Sports that my friend Sirat Sohi recently published. Sirat's story focused on how Draymond Green paved the way for shorter, doughier players to find roles in the league. Here's what Tillman told her. Draymond made defense cool again. Many people only care about buckets, but for a guy who could bring back entertainment through defense like your Dennis Rodmans and Tony Allens and Patrick Beverleys, it's cool that he brought some hype to it. One day after the story dropped, Tillman had an epic play to close a Grizzlies win over the Sixers. Tillman began the possession on Howard and then switched onto Harris and just steered him out of bounds. I mean, man, just look how quickly his feet are moving. At only 6'8", he's undersized to be a traditional big, but with his positioning, awareness, and quickness, he's already popped even as a rookie. Morant plays hard on defense, but he's still only 6'3" and 175 pounds, so it's critical to have guys like Tillman who can defend multiple positions and just be in the right position. Like Sirat wrote, you don't mimic Draymond Green simply by sharing his dimensions. And certainly what's happening between the ears separates Mr. Tillman from other rookies. Taken 5 spots ahead of Tillman with the 30th pick was Desmond Bane. He was born in it. That's so bad. Desmond Bane is another rookie who plays like a veteran. Unlike the aforementioned young guys in Memphis, Bane has a flamethrower jumper. He can come off of screens and handoffs, and he's made over 40% of his threes. I would expect his number of attempts to increase as he grows more comfortable off the dribble. And this makes Bane the perfect complement to Ja. He can play off him, but also help create. Bane can run pick and roll and put zip on his passes, and in the modern league there are many guards, Luka, Trey, Harden, that are the sole focus of their offenses, but you still need other guys who can shoot, handle, and pass. You need guys you can trust, and Grizzlies head coach Taylor Jenkins is learning to trust his rookies.
They just take every opportunity, and they're really getting better from those opportunities. So it's just, gaining a lot of trust in my eyes and our staff's eyes and their teammates' eyes to be able to go out there and play those extended minutes. I think they're doing a great job defensively, not just with the activity part, but just the execution, like the details that we talk about, fundamental stuff, but also game plan.
Bane is already making positive contributions on defense, which has helped the Memphis Grizzlies to a top 5 defensive rating early this season. This roster is full of players who are just straight up reliable. Tyus Jones, who's only 24 but already in his 6th season, is just another player who's steady. As Zach Lowe recently wrote on ESPN, Jones plays a sexy, old-school, ground-bound basketball style. He limits turnovers, makes smart decisions, and plays strong defense. That's what you want in a backup point guard. Also coming off the bench in the backcourt with Jones is John Conchar and D'Anthony Melton. Conchar is just another one of those guys as a second-year wing who just knows how to play the game. He's another smart player. This season, he took backup minutes from Melton, who last season was coming off the bench and part of some really stingy defenses. Grizzlies fans can't forget about what he could potentially offer in certain matchups. And then they have 2 guys deeper on their bench in Killian Tilly and Jonte Porter. The both of them have had a lot of injuries throughout their life, but if it weren't for that, they would have been lottery picks because they're bigs who are skilled that can shoot threes and pass the ball. Either of them, if they're able to stay on the court, would be great fits next to Jaren Jackson Jr. With Ja Morant at point guard, this is great because even though he's going to run a heavy dose of pick and roll and have the ball in his hands, they keep the ball moving. Everybody gets touches. What's happening in Memphis isn't lost on the players either.
Our front office does a really good job at finding guys that are going to fit our team system. I think that X fits our team very well. He's a really strong guy that can do lots of things on the court and plays really well with the guys. So, I just think that our coaching staff and our front office is really good at finding young guys that can come in early and contribute right off the bat.
It really is that simple. Grizzlies general manager Zach Kleiman has targeted dudes who just know how to play. Some teams draft for upside, home run swings, and risky players who have iffy feel for the game. The Grizzlies are just going after smart, mature players who willingly slide into roles. That's especially important when you have an emerging star in Ja and a great co-star in Jaren Jackson Jr. These guys deserve to develop in the healthiest situation possible, and they're only getting better too. It's only a matter of time until all this work happening now culminates in a playoff appearance. And this group collectively will set the stage for Ja Morant to author more special moments. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of The Void, and thank you to Dylan Berkey and Sean Yu for producing it. I want to know what you think about these Grizzlies. Are they going to make the playoffs, or is this team really still looking towards the future? Either way, obviously, their core is young and impressive, but are they good enough to make the postseason this year? Let me know in the comments. And while you're there, please hit like and subscribe and share the video with your friends who love the NBA. Thank you so much for watching The Void. See you next Thursday. Peace out.